All right, we're going to take a look at CNN today. I watched this story and it was so egregious and so wrong and so misleading that I had to do a video about it. And that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to take a look at the mind control of CNN, and it is extensive. Uh, let's go.
All right, this is ridiculous. This is a CNN article they ran on the Jussie Smollett, supposedly on the Jussie Smollett case, and it was so egregious. I mean, they are so unapologetic for running the story, and this whole piece is about how he's not really guilty. You know, he's guilty, but he's not really guilty. It's ridiculous. Let's take a look at this.
Member of the United States government who had a stockpile of weapons that was ready to attack, some of our colleagues and people we know.
So right off the bat, we're focusing on not Jussie Smollett, but a white supremacist who had some guns and he was arrested. So we're not even on the subject. We're completely off the subject before we even discuss it. So let's continue.
People on Capitol Hill, and here we are talking about Jussie Smollett. I know there were a lot of people who thought the story sounded strange when it first happened.
No, it didn't sound strange. It sounded fake as fuck. There's a big difference.
Despite all this, public declarations of support, and people are asking politicians about it, and it feels a little bit misguided at this point that it has all of our attention. I think
Yeah, it has all our attention because the mainstream media focused on it, including CNN, which ran an interview with Jussie, on their show. So now it isn't. All right, let's keep going.
It almost feels like this pendulum to swing, like, oh, we're so sorry, MAGA supporters, that we falsely identified.
So she's saying we really shouldn't apologize for Jussie's behavior because clearly MAGA supporters are racists.
These people, and there are a lot of evidence of violent incidents that happen at these MAGA rallies, and I just
once again we are not even talking about Jussie Smollett. We're talking about MAGA rallies and the racists therein.
Don't want to get have Jussie Smollett distract from that. I mean, a few weeks ago, a cameraman was attacked at a BBC.
So we're going on a cameraman is attacked in the BBC, and this is all related to MAGA racists, according to this woman.
Rally support in 2016. Remember the older white gentleman punched the young black kid who
Oh yeah, and they're like, oh, sure, I remember that. Yeah.
Protesting. They had to call off a MAGA rally in Chicago. And so when we have all of this attention on Jussie Smollett, it almost feels like there's this effort to extend this mea culpa to people who are in fact saying very deplorable and ugly things at the rally.
So what she's saying is we really shouldn't be apologizing for Jussie Smollett's behavior. And we shouldn't be apologizing for CNN's behavior because God, we know they can't be wrong. So really we need to focus on the MAGA hat wearing racists because we all know they're racist. That's what she's saying.
I mean, I hear you. Just because when it comes to MAGA, I don't know about that. I mean, I just don't know. I think that President Trump, when he tweets,
and now we're not talking about Smollett. We're talking about Donald Trump and the MAGA hat racists. And we're a minute 14 into the Smollett story.
Jussie Smollett, what about MAGA?
And here we have, a tweet from Trump. What this has to do with Jussie making up the story and falsifying this, I don't know, but we're going to find out.
Millions of people you insulted with your racist and dangerous comments. It was too broad of a brushstroke to denigrate all MAGA.
No. They want to denigrate anyone associated with MAGA and Trump.
Supporters.
I don't know. I mean, I've seen a lot of what happens at these MAGA rallies. I don't know.
So once again, we're not discussing Jussie Smollett. We're discussing Trump and the racists at the MAGA rallies.
You've seen some of the signs and comments that they say. I think, look, the Jussie Smollett thing has a lot of holes in that story, for sure. I don't think this is the opportunity or the time.
Let's not forget, we had the incident, Nick Sandmann, who was called a racist, and all the news, oh, they jumped on that. They tripped on their dicks to cover that story about the Indian who was, the poor Indian was accosted by the racist child. And the whole thing is a crock of shit. But we'll overlook that for now. Let's keep going.
For everybody to say, "Oh my God, so sorry, you guys. Who would ever think that of the MAGA crowd?" Like they're
and she's laughing when she tells you that, oh, we can't think of bad about the MAGA crowd. Ha ha ha.
There's reason. There's where there's smoke, there's fire. There was smoke there at these things.
So she's saying that where there's smoke, there's fire. So there's clearly red MAGA hat wearing racists, and that's everyone knows that. And it's ridiculous to even talk about Jussie Smollet during these times.
So I'm not giving him a pass. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you are giving him a complete pass.
There's a reason why people were willing to believe it.
Dan, go ahead.
So she's saying that, well, yeah, maybe Jussie did, maybe he didn't, but really let's focus on what we're really trying to focus on here, which is the red Trump hat wearing MAGA racists. And it's not really about Jussie Smollett at all.
No, I think I see it slightly differently in that the one thing you want if you are going to have a justice movement that is credible is not to lump everyone in the same category and say, well, your whole category, your whole class is suspect. So therefore, even if somebody says something that's not true, it's not that big a deal because your whole class is suspect. That's what she's saying.
Yeah, that's what she's saying.
I don't believe that. I have huge criticisms and problems with this rise of hatred in the country. I think the president.
Okay, let's stop right there. The rise of hatred in the country. There is no rise of hatred in this country. And if there was, it would directly be related to CNN's coverage of everything. They are the most racist news organization there is. It's constant race baiting all day, 24/7. So let's go. Let's continue.
Things he said and does not say, and that's a big problem. That is a separate matter from any individual incident and any individual person who's being accused or who's making an accusation. We have to be able to separate those things. It is, in fact, the case that liberals and progressives, like myself, called attention to this.
Yeah, CNN called attention to this. They were tripping over their dicks to cover this fucking story.
When we thought that it was the MAGA crowd. We put up,
and once again, we've got to mention the MAGA crowd.
Videos, we tweeted, we talked about it.
We tweeted, yeah. All the key players tweeted about this right as soon as it happened. So if you want to know who was behind it, just look at the tweets.
So we can't now say it's not a story when it turns out that it's almost certainly to be a hoax.
Almost a hoax. Not quite a hoax. Almost a hoax.
So, you got to eat the whole hamburger when stuff like this happens. And
No, CNN isn't eating a hamburger here. They're turning a hamburger into a grapefruit. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Take a step back. What I want to say about where we are now is, yes.
And by the way, this woman here, she's reading from a teleprompter. So these organic witnesses just pulled off the street, or are they prepared before they make their statements? Gee, I don't know.
I said yesterday, let's not just ride this pendulum back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah, they don't want to cover the story now. It's not doing them any good. The only time it was doing good is when it was defaming the MAGA hat-wearing people. Now, it's not really going to do that. It's drawing attention on the fake media, and it's drawing attention on the fact that Jussie Smollett lied his ass off, and all his rich and powerful friends that he has, which I will not name, Camilla. But, that's what it's about. So the story is useless to them. So the pendulum is now swinging the other way, and it's pointing this all out, and they don't really want to cover it. So they have to soft shoe it.
There seems to be overwhelming evidence that what Jussie said is not true. The police have made their case. We still have not heard publicly yet from Jussie Smollett.
I, for one, I hope I'm speaking for everyone, I really don't want to hear another fucking thing from Jussie Smollett. If Jussie Smollett fell off the edge of the planet, that would be fine with me.
I want to hear from him. I want us to move forward.
I think we've all heard enough from him already.
But I do think, to the extent that it is a story, it's not like liberals and progressives said, it's not that big a deal. Everybody be quiet. We don't want any attention on this. We said it's a story. And I think if it's a story when it's on one side, it's got to be a story on the other too.
Yeah, you'll see. CNN will drop this like a hot potato.
Can I just say though really quickly, Ben, because it almost sounds like you're comparing the plight of MAGA people to black people, and I don't.
And this woman, everything is race. It doesn't. You could talk about bubblegum, and she'd come up with, bubblegum is racist. And here she is. She says, let's rewind this a little bit. She says, it sounds like you're saying, and it's not even close.
Plight of MAGA people to black people, and I don't think that's
big a deal. Everybody be quiet. We don't want any attention on this. We said it's a story, and I think if it's a story when it's on one side, it's got to be a story on the other too.
Can I just say though really quickly, Ben, because it almost sounds like you're comparing the plight of MAGA people to black people, and I don't think that's necessarily the case.
The plight of MAGA people to black people. Honey, you've got to get a grip, really, seriously.
You said this is what they do to black people. I think that's a bit of a false equivalent.
Listen,
the victim mentality has got to go away because it's ridiculous.
Here's what I'm trying to say, and we're in a world now where people want to jump on any one thing and whatever. We don't have to be in these camps. I think that you're somebody who believes in justice.
Oh, I don't think believe she does. No.
Only for one group. I think you're somebody. I've read your stuff. You believe in justice, period. And when you talk about justice, period, there's a standard, and that standard is.
Well, hold on. Justice.
That standard is being.
Justice. So we have the Chicago Police Department. They give you a videotape of the brothers buying the MAGA hats and the ski masks, and he's going to talk about justice. This is ridiculous. I mean, there's no justice in this.
Actually looking at facts and evidence. And what I'm saying is we hate it when people don't give us that benefit.
Because you haven't earned it. Our trust is earned. And you've been caught lying and lying and lying and over and over and over and over. And here you get caught lying. The case gets blown out of the water, and now you're soft-shoeing it. You're blaming it on red hat wearing MAGA racists. It's ridiculous.
So it makes, I think, African Americans especially sensitive to
especially what?
These questions of justice, and I think we should extend that to everybody. And then when we do that, 99 times out of 100, we come out on top. So I'm not.
99 times out of 100? No. 100 times out of 100, you come out losing. And CNN is losing badly. Really, you are fake news? No. You are really fake news. Van, wake up. Smell the roses. Come on.
Any standard that's bad for black people, the standard I'm advancing is great for black people because 99 times out of 100, we come out on top.
If CNN went out of business tomorrow, that'd be really great for everyone. Black, white, doesn't matter what color you are. Be great. If you could remove the constant race baiting, that'd be great. Okay?
There's been a lot of talk, obviously, about the long.
So now we're getting pretty deep in this interview, and we don't want to get sued. So let's bring a little truth into it.
Term impact of this doesn't make it less likely that people believe accusations of hate crimes, which are on the rise.
They're not on the rise. The statistics show crime in general is down. So they constantly quote these statistics that hate crime is on the rise, and they've been doing this for the last 6 years
in this country going forward. Nichelle, I'm fascinated by what's happened in just the last 12 hours with Jussie Smollet apparently going to the set, maintaining his innocence, asking for support as people are
maintaining his innocence. Maintaining his innocence. That's what he's doing.
Having these discussions, as we hear from Van and Tiffany, raising real questions about the impact of this going forward. What is his declaration of innocence due to that? How does that impact how people are talking about this?
Yeah, this is really interesting. I almost hate to interject because I think that...
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you really hate to interject.
The discussion Van and Tiffany were having is a very important...
So we need to focus on the conversation Van and Tiffany are having because it's all about the MAGA hat wearing racists.
It's one that is going on right now. I think it gets to...
We will discuss racism. We will not discuss Jussie Smollett. We will not discuss the fact that Jussie Smollett bought his way out of jail. and that whole thing. We will not discuss the MAGA hat wearing brothers that bought the hats in the Angry Beaver or whatever the hell the name of the store was.
The heart of what everybody is talking about, but a couple things. Allison mentioned earlier that everybody was quick to believe him and whatnot. You know what?
No. CNN was quick to believe him. Everyone wasn't quick to believe him. Everyone looked at the story and said, "Wow, this is a crock of shit from A to Z." You know?
I don't begrudge people for believing somebody they care about, they respect, they do not believe is a lie. I don't begrudge people for doing that and stepping up and standing up for that person. I do believe, as Van said, that if you see the change of events, then you have to say, okay, I was wrong. But I don't see a problem with believing someone that you care about. Now, Van said he wanted to hear from Jussie. We did hear from Jussie. His legal team.
Oh, we heard from Jussie, believe me. He lied his ass off.
Put out a statement last night maintaining his innocence. His family put it up on social media.
Maintaining his innocence, yep. So once again, we're not talking about the reality of the case. We're talking about Jussie maintained his innocence.
He is still saying 100% that he did not do this. He's doubling, tripling, quadrupling down.
He's doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on a set of cards he doesn't have. He has none. He has zero. He doesn't have any cards. He lied. So the MAGA hats that they've been talking about, the red MAGA hats, the only place those MAGA hats existed was in Jussie's imagination. And yet, here we are, 6.5 minutes into an interview, and we're still talking about MAGA hats and MAGA hat wearing racists and this, that, the other thing. And those hats don't exist. They're in a psychopath's imagination. That's where they exist.
Now, I don't know what's going to happen with this. All I know is that Jussie Smollett's team has decided we're going to go through with this. I mean, he went to his cast last night and
We're going to go through with this. We're going to get $100 grand. We're going to give it to Chicago and pretend like it never happened. That's what we're going to do. And everyone's going to play along, including CNN.
Our reporting says that he tearfully asked them, said, this isn't me.
You know this isn't me. Really. That's your story. Okay.
No, this is not who I am. I did not do this. So he is still saying, I didn't do it. I think he's gonna, let.
Once again, we come back to where is the justice?
Let the public make up their mind. Everyone's right. There's a whole lot of evidence that suggests that he did. Now we have to see the legal.
She looks like she's gonna explode. I have to say something.
I'm still kind of gobsmacked by the whole thing.
Gobsmacked.
Everybody is. I mean, you know him personally, so of course.
Oh, of course, you know everything, that he's innocent. Yeah, you know that.
You have a different take on it, but everybody is. I mean, to watch all this play out so publicly, like this morality play, Tiffany, so look.
No. It's an immorality play with CNN anchoring the immorality of it all. And that's what's really going on. So let's continue.
Obviously, we have to reserve judgment on whether or not.
Oh yeah, we can't judge. No, don't judge.
We convict him right now in the media. However,
although a couple weeks ago, we were ready to tell everybody he was innocent without any investigation at all, without even a phone call to the Chicago PD, with nothing, no, zero, zip, zilch. They were ready to help him, and brought him on TV and let him do his tear-felt interview. It's a fucking joke. If
well, a false claim.
That's it is. Let's just if it is a false claim, an outside possibility.
It turns out that he is guilty of this. I do think it's worth a little bit of exploration as to what possesses somebody and why would somebody who is so.
So we were told that Jussie did it because he wanted more money in his job. That doesn't make any sense at all. Jussie did it because he was paid, and Jussie was paid by some very powerful people. So when the shit hits the fan and the story falls apart like a cheap suit, everybody in that group was ready to throw Jussie under the bus. But you can't do that in this case because Jussie knows the truth. So Jussie made a little phone call and said, well, if you fuck me, I'll fuck you too. And that's how it went. And so they ponied up and they got the $100 grand. And all is good now. Jussie's innocent.
Successful do this, and I thought it was very interesting what Columbia professor John McWhorter tweeted.
So now we're going on, a complete random professor, which has nothing to do with any of this.
About this, and I just want to dive into this for a second. He says, we're at a peculiar socio-historical stage where someone could think being black and jumped by white thugs makes them more interesting than being a star on a hit TV show. And sadly, he's right. This thirst.
No, I'm sorry. That is so freaking stupid. He didn't do this for money. He did this because he was told, and he works for a big club. That's all it is. And he has some very powerful friends, and he's a little fish in a very big pond of water in the swamp in Chicago.
For relevance that we see among people right now, and the idea that being a victim makes you more interesting than being a star.
That's right.
No, I don't want to be a star. I don't want to be a victim. Neither one. That holds no allure for me whatsoever. None. Zero.
Again, I think this is, if he did do these things, it's definitely.
If he did. Are we forgetting about the Chicago PD and the investigation they did and aired and discussed and, told everyone Jussie made the whole thing up? It's lock, stock, and barrel. You have the two brothers. You have their testimony. You have everything. Everything.
Sociopathic behavior, if he created this attack. I don't know that he is representative of some large group of society. I think we have to be honest about what the MAGA hat has come to represent, what the MAGA...
Once again, we're right back to the MAGA hat. Now, let me go over this again because there was no MAGA hat at all. We saw the two Nigerian/Chicago-born brothers buy the hats. They were not even MAGA hats. They were red hats. So there was no MAGA hat ever involved in this incident. The only place the MAGA hat existed is in Jussie Smollett's psychopathic imagination. That's it. So, we're supposed to be talking about Jussie Smollett, and we're talking about Jussie Smollett's imaginary MAGA hats.
Symbol has come to represent. I don't know that I would...
And they're racist. Yeah, she's going to tell you they're racist.
Conflate these two. This is an actor who's,
allegedly
feigning this whole attack, trying to get more money for his salary.
Right.
That's a separate conversation from what's happening.
Oh yeah, that's completely separate. We couldn't possibly talk about those. Well, let's talk about MAGA.
In society at large, and the divide that's happening in this country with, as John...
First of all, the divide that's happening in this country is being fueled by you, CNN. Period. Full stop.
That hate crimes being on the rise, they rose 30%.
That's a lie.
Again, recently 7%.
That's a lie.
In 2018 alone, and most of these groups are white supremacists.
And she's reading a teleprompter. Hello.
Groups, as evidenced by a member of the United States government who amassed a huge amount of weapons.
There's all sorts of stuff.
Once again, we're not talking about Jussie. We're talking about a white nationalist who amassed a bunch of weapons and was going to kill some people. I don't know.
But if this is true, didn't Jussie conflate the two? I mean, if the story is true, didn't he bring the intersection together and force people to have this conversation?
No, he didn't. Jussie lied. He committed a crime. So if committing a crime is bringing people together to have this conversation, I don't know what planet these people are, where are they from?
And if it is true, didn't he in fact attempt to paint the MAGA supporters?
Yes, that he did. He did. He attempted to paint MAGA supporters as being white supremacists who beat a black man, but that is bullshit. So we don't need to talk about that because it's bullshit.
As these racist and homophobic people, I think.
And once we got the talking points in there, racist, homophobic, it's a modern day lynching.
I have to disagree
if the story is true,
but Michelle, I have to respectfully disagree. I think MAGA supporters have painted themselves as that. I mean, when you look at footage,
Deep breaths. So the MAGA supporters have painted themselves as being racist because Jussie Smollett faked the shooting. Wow. That is... How do you live with that? I don't know.
Hear things they say. This is the honest to goodness truth, and we have to be bold enough to call that out.
So she's saying that, forget about Jussie. Let's just focus on the MAGA racist because they're so egregious. We can all agree that they're just so racist that nothing Jussie could do could ever possibly get past that. And let's not focus on Jussie. Let's focus on the red MAGA hat wearing racists that are in Jussie's imagination.
It's just the extreme at the rally.
I'm sorry?
The extremes at the rally. I mean, you I think are using a broad brush stroke as well, but the extremes at the rally have been violent, not the.
So what she's doing here is she's preventing from getting sued. It's legalese, you know. She slips us in. Oh, you don't mean everyone. You just mean the extremists at the rallies.
Well, the fact
And
that
she's like, well,
thousands of people aren't shouting, you know, ridiculous.
yeah, let's watch that
hateful,
over again because
racist
it's
rhetoric,
important.
but,
It's
well,
important.
The fact that most,
broad brush stroke is the rally.
I'm sorry.
The extreme.
I think I have to disagree
If the
with you
story's
there.
true, that,
But Michelle, I have to respectfully disagree. I think MAGA supporters have painted themselves as that. I mean, when you look at footage, when you hear things they say, this is the honest to goodness truth, and we have to be bold enough to call it out.
Yeah, because that's what we're focusing on, the
I'm
truth.
Extreme. The
Because Jussie was so truthful with his testimony.
extremes at the rally. I mean, you I think are using a broad brush stroke as well, but the extremes at the rally have been violent.
So she's quantifying what she really means because she can't mean everyone because that's racist. So we're going to soft shoe around that one.
Not the most of the thousands there.
Yeah, well, the fact that most of thousands of people aren't shouting,
Thousands of people.
you know, ridiculous, hateful, racist rhetoric, but it still you have aligned yourself with a group of people who does. And if we want.
Wow, that is, so everybody who wears a red MAGA hat is racist. That's the takeaway from here. And this is CNN, the Crank News Network. Let's continue. We're almost done here.
To pretend that, you know, the MAGA symbol hasn't come to represent that.
Once again, we're 9.5 minutes in, and we're still going on about MAGA hat wearing racists.
I just think that's false, and I think.
Can I say one thing? We need to make crystal clear, though.
Yeah, see, now we have to be crystal clear because this news story's almost over. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cover CNN's ass very carefully. So let's watch this.
The Chicago police are right. No one.
If the Chicago police are right, if
in a MAGA hat did this. It
No,
was
right,
not
I agree, yeah.
that Jussie Smollett made this up. It's on him.
So if the Chicago police are correct, it's on Jussie. It doesn't have anything to do with MAGA hat wearing racists, which is the truth. So we went 9 minutes and then inserted that little tidbit right before the end of the year. You know, it's ridiculous. If you can't see this, I don't know what to tell you. CNN has learned nothing. They're well on their way to another lawsuit with the way their coverage is going. I don't see any change in CNN's attitude. All they do is make shit up 24/7. And when it hits the fan, they do a soft shoe. And that's all it is. And if you like the video, sub it up. I want to welcome all the new subscribers. It's been a really good month. And that's it. Have a good day, guys. Carpe diem. Peace and love.